So speaking about beauty,
30 minutes of friends talk about everything that matters to women.
Be normal.
Welcome to the lounge.
Standard of being beautiful and having people to actually feel proud of their own beauty and natural looks. But nowadays everything has changed, and even when it comes into beauty standard back in the days and nowadays, you would be like, why did people used to say that she's very beautiful, where when it comes into her features, she's just a normal girl and woman in that particular sense.
I think there was like a different understanding. Whatever the beauty standard back at the time was, actually the focus or like the idea of it is different. So for example, now we prefer girls to be like, you know, they have like a tinier nose, like big lips and like sharp eyes, and the forehead has to be like somewhere like small, not too big. Exactly. You know what I mean? But back at the time, the idea of it was completely different. But also, it wasn't simple. If you're gonna look at the pictures, girl, I know literally like the neighbors and everybody in the pictures, they be having like afros. I know the women, they had like big, fluffy, beautiful, luscious hair.
That's right.
And like the curls, they were taken over. And you know, if it's like the 80s, that's even different. And the clothes, they were more colorful. So like the beauty standard really, and also they had a preference. Like for example, the girl has to be like a bit more curvier, and then like the men had to be more slender, or like they're extremely tall. So there's always gonna be a beauty standard. It's not really any different. It's just now we're more selective because you have phones to check. We have things to like, we're connected to the world more. Definitely. So now it's more of like a westernized beauty standard. But back at the time, they had like the Arabs, and that's about it. Now we're connected to everyone.
Yeah.
So you're comparing literally all the time. And honestly, standards of beauty change over time insanely. Like before, I would say that they liked a lean kind of physique maybe, and then now everyone is going towards a curvier look and being into the gym for that and building muscle and all of that. And then
you reminded me,
there's the GLP medication, and people are now going back to being really skinny. And the thing is, you need to find who you are and kind of stick to it, because I remember I was watching this video of a surgeon saying like, what are those people gonna do now that they completely changed the way they look, and now the beauty standards are changing back to what they were once upon a time? I think because again, life is so fast and there's so much information, and the mindsets are changing as well. We're getting like invested into like the beauty to the point where it's obsessive. And the fact that the beauty standard keeps on changing, people are gonna keep on changing as well. Like now they got their noses done, like which is like fine, but a lot of people are doing the extreme, and they're starting young. But then because the beauty standard is changing, they're keeping up with that as well. But health-wise, they're getting affected. It has so much huge impact on people. And I'm really scared of that because the future don't seem bright. Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't. And what is the limit for us?
Like you mentioned something, which is, you know, a small nose, big lips.
Yeah.
And like, I know when it came to my mom's generation, they didn't like big lips.
Girl, not even like, literally, maybe like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it was not a thing.
You'd be judged.
You'll be judged. People make fun of you if you have like big lips. Automatically. And now everybody has big lips. Y'all made fun of me years ago. Now everybody has big lips as well.
Definitely, I love it.
Oh my God.
No, but honestly, and I feel like it's just so weird. But then like later on, I know things gonna change again, and I don't know. They might go back to like tiny lips, and then I might do like go
even bigger.
No, I'm making them smaller.
Never.
I keep going bigger, so that's the only thing I can relate to.
I mean, thinking about that, I really do agree with you, Fawzia, when he said that people used to, especially when it comes to community and society in countries, Western side, we're always Western side, the Eastern, we're also Eastern. But now since it's, let's say, all connected together, and it's very easy to see each an individual when it comes to that, we've seen even the beauty standard is also different. Like before, they used to have one type of beauty for each side. Now there are lots of varieties of beauty from different kind of countries. Like today, if we're talking about a beauty in each country, maybe let's say have 5 type or 5 style in each different country, which is something very, I don't want to say it's bad, but it's good, because in a way you're not keeping that kind of sense of beauty for only one type of people, but you're giving them more of, let's say, a different kind of of categories for them to get fit in. The thing is, to me, I'm okay with the change. If you want to do any kind of, let's say, interfere when it comes into surgical interference, but as long as you don't change your identity. You don't want people to look at you and cannot recognize your picture at the passport, because I do remember that passports have a very long expiration date, where maybe almost lasts for 10 years. So imagine within the years, like, and especially if it has a visa for a certain country.
Your face don't look the same.
And you'd be like, you know what, you have to change it. And you don't want to reach to that point where people would say you changed. Like, I have my cousin, she did a nose job. And it wasn't that huge, big of change, but she changed her nose and it fitted her in a very beautiful way. But the thing is, she had an older picture for herself. And I remember the receptionist was sitting, and he was like, it's not you, it's her. And I'm like, that's not me. And he's like, yeah, but it looks like her. Like, even the hair was different, everything is, and it was like, no, but I can't recognize. Like, and in the picture she was tanned. In reality, she wasn't tanned because
she was fair skin.
She's tough. So imagine like the difference. Like, so you don't want to reach to that point where you even feel in an awkward situation trying to convince the person that's me. And she had to open the ID mobile phone verification in order for him to see that she is actually her.
Talking about that, I have a friend that's married with a child, and her husband doesn't know that she has gotten over 8 surgical procedures done.
No.
So the thing is, so I knew these 2 sisters when I was way younger, like a teenager. And then I just saw them again at a boutique. I remember it was like a fashion designer's boutique or something, atelier. And I didn't recognize them. Literally did not recognize them. And they're like, we know you. Oh my God, you don't remember us. And I'm like, who are you? And they're like, we are so-and-so. And I'm like,
no.
Zero resemblance.
Can't recall.
And the days really went, and I still cannot, you know, put the old memory of them with the people I'm seeing in real life now. And yeah, her husband has no idea. He has no idea that she has the sleeve done. So she is literally quarter her normal weight, has entire everything done. Just everything head to toe done.
It's like a new identity.
And by the way, exactly. And whenever he asks her about like photos from her teenage years or childhood, she says, "Oh, our house burns and we don't have anything left."
This is a whole story.
Yeah, it's a whole
that's
situation.
A movie.
But the thing is, what if you run into someone, like a friend that doesn't know you've been lying about this, and they go like, oh, you've lost 100 kilos.
Exactly.
How do you explain that? And then how do you explain your children looking nothing like the new image of you?
You know what? There was like a similar story in Korea where like a couple who were married and she's gorgeous. And then the man was so shocked, the husband, that the children, they're not as good looking as none of the parents. And he said, what's going on? And then she confronted him and said, you know what? I had surgeries, a plastic surgery. And he sued her and asked for divorce.
Yes, I remember that.
So imagine
I don't
living
believe
with someone.
Like, to be honest, I don't blame him.
Yeah,
I don't blame him. Sorry, I don't blame him when it comes into that, because I mean, it's a kind of a very frustrating situation. Like, to me, it's very important people recognize you. That's the most important thing. People would say, wow, you look better. It's better than like, I didn't recognize you. Oh, you changed. You're different. You know? Like, one of the things that I've always noticed in life is wherever I go, people will be like, especially my friends, they'd be like, hey, Beth, do you remember us? And I'd be like, yes, but like I have this kind of problem where I don't remember people if I don't, let's say, contact a lot with. Maybe I will recall them within the, let's say, years, but when they see me immediately, they'll be like telling me, wow, you didn't change. Though I really changed, but because of that, you know, and this is something very normal, in a way.
I think that's really amazing, and I'm lucky I'm not the only one with the memory problem and not remembering anyone. But let's take a quick break.
So when it comes into beauty standard, I'm very sure each individual has her own beauty standard. Like, to me, one of the things that I really keep in mind when it comes into having the feature of a woman and would say that she looks beautiful is when it comes into her teeth. Like, I don't like to see all of aligned teeth.
Like veneers?
Yes. Like,
they look fake.
Like I like the ones who are very normal, very, let's say, natural. If there is a gap, then there is a gap. If there is not a gap, there is not a gap. But, you know, this kind of natural look, Like to me, that was always the beauty of it. Like a lot of people would tell me like, why don't you let's say try to do your teeth, like why don't you try to fill the gaps? And I'm like, that's me, you know, like that's like before. Comparing it to the past, they used to say that when there's a gap, that there is beauty. Like people in UK, they're always attracted to women with the gap between their teeth, because they say that this is a beauty standard. So of course it differs. Like I'm not explaining it in a way because I have them that means that I like them, but what I mean is having more of a natural, beautiful teeth, not being, let's say, filled with veneers or anything, let's say, in that matter of sense.
Yeah. Definitely. Mine is more like, I really love the representation, anything that makes me feel like I can relate to. So for me, my beauty standard is what I can understand. So if I saw a woman with braids, I would start crying. Because of how much I love braids, you know what I mean? And I like, you know, like certain actresses who, like, you know, they can be like light skin or like darker skin. And for me, it's like I'm seeing family. So whenever I see someone like that and they're like, their eyes are sharp, or they have like brown eyes, I love brown eyes for me. But like for me, facial features doesn't really matter as long as you have braids and you look like you're from an island. Thank you. That's my beauty standard. Like genuinely, that's my beauty standard, because the sun kiss, like the skin looks glowy, looks rich. I love that, and it's like flawless. Like you don't have much makeup, but you do have like makeup. I love it. For me, that's like the ultimate.
You have touched on everything I wanted to talk about. Honestly, like the first thing that makes me look and stare is a beautiful tan.
Yeah.
So I'm obsessed with tanning. I think we've mentioned that 700 times since we started the show. So that's something I really find beautiful. So sun-kissed, minimum makeup, the effortless look.
Yes.
I know like my hair is perfect right now, but I don't like that either. So away from the camera, I like the hair to be a bit on the messy side.
Yeah.
More natural, effortless. I don't know. Yeah, that's the vibe I like.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I do find overly filled lips and face very attractive. So I like,
you know what, if it looks natural,
yeah, no, I like it to look fake, but the good way though, not the botched fake. The thing is, I feel like now in Kuwait we associate anything botched with fake looking. No, I just like the fake look that is done beautifully.
Yeah.
If it looks beautiful, I'm here for it. If it looks crazy,
no.
Yes, it's the one that you actually do to yourself, where people would say, wow, you look astonishing, like what did you change, like the ones that you cannot, let's say, figure out what's going on, like that kind of beauty. But I've seen, like I have this cousin, she's a Brad's icon, like whatever. Yes, that kind of sense of beauty, you know, that sharp eyes, big lips, small nose, like she loves that, and lots of people are into that. And to me, it's more of when I talk about that kind of beauty, I feel like it's more of a phase. It's not something that lasts forever. Like it's just for a time, and then I'll be like, I don't want that. I want to change. I don't want to stick to that. But the most, like one of the things that I also like and I adore, if there is a tall woman.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Like if she's 170 and above, like wow, that's a kind of beauty to me. Like I just love when it comes into having a tall woman in the place, whether it's in a mall or something. Like you feel like that's a statement.
I love an edgy woman.
Yes, that's my favorite.
I love an edgy woman because you feel like she would take over the world, but also there's this carelessness feel to it. I love it so much, and I feel like it's powerful, it's authentic, and usually when you see the way like they dress and even like the hair, it's very messy. The makeup is sometimes smudged here and there.
Exactly.
But I don't know, it's effortless, but also like the clothing. It makes you wonder what's going on with their lives. I don't know if they're homeless. I don't know if they're like put together. You cannot tell.
Exactly.
But they just look phenomenal. There's something attractive about them that I love so much. And I feel like to me, that's like the beauty standard that I can't meet because again, it don't make sense. I
completely agree, because I feel like every lady out there could do the feminine look and the cute dresses and all of that, but I feel like it's very hard to get to the edgy look and have it look so natural without you trying so hard. So that's why I noticed, like, whenever someone has this very edgy style, you do turn and look, you do notice them.
Yeah.
Their presence is noticed, even if they're not making any noise, they're being very under a rock.
It's so true.
You're still gonna look at them exist.
It's so true.
It's interesting.
I had a friend like that, and she was extremely edgy since like we were 16.
Wow.
And I don't know what it was about her, because like looking at the pictures, we both looked homeless. And I'm not playing. I swear, we were in Ireland. We both looked homeless. But she had this thing where she had like a beanie and her hair was super long and then like dark eyeliner. And she wasn't even trying hard. It was like literally her day-to-day thing. She was wearing a shirt with like a leather jacket and some boots. And
That's
like
the best.
I swear, and I was so confused with her style. And like, you know, a flannel shirt tucked in and all of that. And I just loved it so much. And until this moment when I see her, you would see her like with a black coat and like a band shirt and like a long leg jeans, pants with like boots. And I'm like, how do you look so? I swear I copied the same style and I look crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't match. It doesn't, like, it did not meet the same vibe that she was giving. And it's just, I find it so beautiful. Until this day, I'm trying to copy, but I can't. It doesn't work on me.
Yeah, I feel like it's everyone's
Has their own
personality and aura, and when they wear something. It's the same thing with me and my sister. We are completely different and we share clothes, you know? So usually she steals my clothes before I even get the chance to wear them.
Yeah.
But they are so different on her and so different on me. And then there's the crazy stuff that I wear that she could never wear. She would try on, but she just looks terrible in them, you know? Like, she acknowledges it. She's like, this is so you that I just look insane wearing it. So I feel like it's everyone and their personality.
I can't wait to find like my own beauty standard, because what I like, it don't seem to match me at this point. Honestly, no, for real. Like, I tried.
Yeah, like sometimes beauty standard to me, it's not necessarily that could be, let's say, applied to me, but it could actually, let's say, please the eye. Like you would like to watch that instead of, let's say, only forcing it that I should be like that. You know? Like this is the kind of, let's say, a sense of beauty.
Happens, you know, sometimes you get pressured into it that because you love looking at it so much that you want it so bad. But little do you know that sometimes it doesn't really be applied to you.
Exactly.
You know what kind of pressure that I feel is after finding a certain filter that glows your face.
Oh yeah.
And then you have difficulty accepting your natural, though you are the same. Like my face is not edited that much to be different, but you know, just having that kind of clear filter is like, even when it comes into the makeup, it's that sharp and you cannot ever accept your face after
you're
that.
never gonna have skin that smooth.
Exactly.
Ever.
And that's the reason I'm taking that picture with that filter, because might as well just enjoy the filter.
I am having such a hard time ethically between me and myself. So I'm not liking my photos without filters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I haven't done my usual touch-ups in 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, ethically, I'm not able to use the filter. So I'm like stuck here not posting anymore.
You know what?
Just take pictures of both.
Yeah.
Like take a picture with a filter and without a filter and keep both of them, just for the sake of like, you're pleasing
imagine
yourself.
Once I recorded the screen just to show, because you know, you've been talking about not using filter for quite a time, and then you accepted yourself without filter, then suddenly you're back to using filter. So I remember I filmed and recorded the screen while me without the filter, and then adding the filter and how it shifted and changed.
Yeah.
I was very happy because it didn't change a lot. It's like adding a clear filter. But yet it was very difficult. Like imagine if I recorded it and had different face, and I was like, how can I get
like, is that what I look like?
Yes.
So there's this influencer that I follow. She's not really an influencer. She's even more as a model, we could say.
Yeah.
Right? And I find her so pretty, and she has this very like structured face and very petite and skinny. And I was at a mall recently eating my burger happily. So was she. And I'm like, is it her? Is it not? Because she resembles her. She's not her. And it was her. So everything is heavily filtered. And on the filtered note, let's take a break. So we've been talking about beauty in the past, beauty in the future, beauty standards. How would you feel if you go back a few years and we don't have the beauty standards of today. We don't have the means to beauty that we have today. How do you think you'll look, and how do you think you'll deal with it?
I am sure that I might go back in the 60s or the 70s, something, and I want to look like a jazz singer. You know what I mean? Like where they have like the finger waves, gorgeous hair, a really nice simple makeup with like a sharp lipstick, and like I just love it because it's a mixture of classy, but also like, you know, like mysterious. It's playful, it's fun. I don't think I'm gonna be lost. Just take me back to that era, and like the clothing wise, incredible.
I'm happy.
Everything is tailored to
sequins and
yes,
fringe
yes,
and blazers.
make it fun.
I'm really happy.
And everything is tailored to you. And I'm wearing the heels too.
Let's not forget the feathers.
I like feathers.
I love
Bring
feathers.
all the birds. No, let's protect the birds, the fake feathers. You know what I mean? But I'm enjoying it. Take me back to the 60s.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, there's an actress called Bridget Barton, and she had that kind of era where she was very astonishing with the bangs and the big hair bow and all of that. Like, I remember a time I never knew about her, and I had the same hair bang and even when it comes into the bow. And one of the Lebanese let's say directors were there, and he was like, "You reminded me of her." And I was like, "Really?" And I looked up for her, and I was like, "Oh my God." Like that kind of standard of beauty, how natural she looked with the big eyes and everything. And it was very beautiful, though the picture that I saw was black and white. But I was like, if she can master that kind of beauty with black and white, then she's that kind of, let's say, iconic sense of beauty. Like I don't know which era she's from, whether some from the 70s, 60s or something like that, or maybe earlier. But to me, that kind of way of beauty was something.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you?
Definitely. I feel like I would enjoy the 60s look, as you mentioned, only because I like the feathers. I like the fringe and sequins and the fun. Like, for example, I know everyone is obsessed with Audrey Hepburn. She's gorgeous, but she's boring. You know, I want fun. So that's why I'm happy with the jazz look.
You're joining in. You're joining in
because I love the fun, but I'm gonna have such a hard time with what's available on the market.
It's such.
I'm
No, but
talking
everything is tailored to you. Oh, that is so true.
Like makeup. Have you seen vintage makeup, you guys? Like, it went viral on social media. There's this influencer that just lives this vintage life.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking
vintage
about.
products, like, I don't know, lipstick from 70 years ago.
Everything is poisonous at that time.
Everything is very poison. I don't know.
But people were alive though for a really long
they
time.
Were, so it's very interesting. So I feel like I'm gonna be worried about these things, my hair, because let's be honest, like looking back at photos, we're like, what is going on with the outfit? What is going on with the hair? So I don't know.
You know, like every time I go back in the photos, I really miss the old me.
Yes.
Like I always feel like I was thinner, I was better, my hair was healthier, the makeup was better. Like seriously, I keep looking at it and I'm like, what happened? Even when I was pregnant, like imagine, I miss my face when I was pregnant in that kind of sense and way, where when I looked at myself, I was like, now I'm pregnant. Like back in the days, I was not. Like, what's wrong? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I really miss it. Imagine.
Definitely.
But change is important at the end of the day.
Like
you know what I mean? When you were younger, I didn't look that good. Honestly, I'll be real. I watched the videos from back in uni. I was like, delete. And ain't nobody should see this. No one should know about this. I looked embarrassing. The only thing I would take is my sense of humor. I'm gonna leave the rest.
I love that. That's
yeah, but other than that, no, girl.
You know what the problem is?
What?
The problem is I looked terrible but didn't know it. I thought I looked
That's
amazing. Like confidence level 1
so
million.
True. That's what I thought as well. But you know what? I wanna like, one of my dreams were that I wanna enjoy wearing, you know, like the Italian woman in New York with a leopard coat, like a big coat.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I have one. We'll share it.
Yeah.
And the hair, the red lipstick, and the heels, and they be like popping them out like that. The red nails.
Yeah.
I love it. I want to go back to the early 2000s to wear this. I know some of them they
we
still
can do
live
it
like
now.
that.
Are you serious? We can do it
you know,
now.
because
That's why I have the coat.
they say leopard, you know, coats are not classy. but look at me.
Mine is so extra. It's actually, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's made out of hair too. So it's like another level of coat.
I
leopard
want to
coat.
get one so bad, and I want to make sure that I live that moment. You know
Yeah.
what? This winter, we're
We need
gonna
to.
rock it together.
We need to.
They say
The
that you
world's not
have to
gonna
go
be
to
ready.
Russia and buy them because they're very cheaper there.
Girl,
Yes.
Who's
So
going to
my
Russia? Are you
friend
going to
gets
Russia?
Like I
all
went to
her
Russia
fur
and I
from
was
there.
like, you know what? I'm coming back with
if you're
my
going to
money.
Russia, let me know so you can get me
Yes.
the leopard jacket for both of us the coats.
Jackets and the procedures are amazing there. So the next time she goes, we need to tag along.
Yeah.
for-
You know, I really regret it because when I reached there and when I was on the flight coming back to work, I remember that I follow a certain surgeon
Yes.
who actually does very miracles
Exactly.
in a very, let's say, easy procedure. And I was like, how did I miss it?
So true.
Like it
Yeah.
went out of my mind.
No, that's a whole reason to go. Honestly, it's a beautiful country, so much to do, trip, makeover, everything,
And the
shopping. Yeah, there's so
I
much.
love it. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? So we concluded that we'll look better in the past than like the future.
Oh no,
No, you look better now.
thank
That's what
you.
you're trying to say. I look better now.
Yeah.
I like
You look
that.
better back at the time. But if I could, I'm definitely moving back, like the older era.
I'll move back 10 years.
I'll move back
we were
and correct
skinny,
the mistakes that
we were
I did.
skinny.
I was skinny as well.
I was skinny.
I want to go back as well. Take me back. I'm sorry. I'll
10
go back.
years.
I'll go back.
No, we'll do 10
we'll go
years.
back, but we'll correct the mistakes.
Amazing.
Yeah,
We
you know
won't
what?
gain the
No,
weight.
take me back as well. I want to go. Don't leave me alone.
You don't want to-
I don't want to be alone in this. Life
I
is not
think
okay.
the skinny part affects us all.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
just by saying and triggering the part skinny,
Yes.
we immediately.
Yes,
because it's
I
very
noticed.
celebrated now, even though like being skinny is not celebrated now. It's more of like being curvy and being all of that. But back at the time, being skinny was it.
Girl,
Exactly.
It was the trend.
We were it.
It was always skinny, no matter what they say by curvy, not curvy. It's always
No, but
skinny.
like now,
Things changed
yeah,
a bit. Yeah.
things change way. It's like it's
Yes,
crazy.
But then again,
But now I feel like now the trend is starting again to people being skinny
Back.
again. And I'm like, I can't keep up. I can't keep up because the
Exactly.
beauty standard is changing so much that I can't keep up. I enjoyed my like the curvy era. Now I want to be skinny again. And it's just like,
Definitely.
and what they don't tell you that with that trend, that it takes like 3 months from a year for you to transform back to like being skinny. Depends on how
they
many
have to tell
kilos.
us. They have to keep us on the schedule. Like when is it going to be skinny
So that
again?
we're
When
Girl,
is
it is
you know?
going back.
yeah, it's coming
We're
back
already
big
going
time.
back,
I think we're there
yeah.
already.
And I have
Yeah.
plenty of kilos to drop, but like they don't tell you, like they're all skinny now. And I'm like, how? I need a year at least to be that skinny.
No, I need 3. Are you serious? But yeah, I did notice that whenever I think it's a normal human thing. Whenever we see our photos from a year or 2 or even 3 ago, and apps do that for us now. They give us flashbacks and they remind us of things that we thought were ugly back then, but we feel like we're ugly now. Well, this is a debate that's never gonna end. Ladies, how about we wrap up here?